Good morning, Park Ave. This is our small group video for Sunday, March the 6th. Hope you guys have an excellent discussion. Today, we learned about David and how he was living on the run from Saul. Actually, pretty similar to Robin Hood, a guy who lives in the forest, who does good for those around him, who shelters those who are on the run from the law, or in this case, from the king, and someone who's working for the good of the people who is around him. It's actually pretty interesting to see those comparisons. Today we're going to go through a few of the principles that we learned from David's life. There's some really interesting ones in there talking about the implications for us as a body of believers who are aliens living in a strange land. The Bible often talks about how we are people who are in the world but not of the world. And that's very similar to what David was. He was in Israel, but he was not behind the king. He was not doing the things the king wanted him to do. He was kind of rebelling. And that's exactly what God calls us to do against the king of this world, in the enemy, Satan. We are to be God's agents, not Satan's agents. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk about the effect that Saul had on the people of Israel. There's some really serious things that Saul did that really affected the people of Israel and their response to David. We'll talk about the nature of God's call on your life, how God called David out of comfort into risk, and see if there's a parallel between David's life and our own lives as people who have been saved by Christ and who are on his mission as opposed to our own. We'll also talk about the harmful effects of sin in a person's life, and also our response as a church to an ever-increasing hostility towards what we believe. I hope you guys have an excellent small group discussion. Looking forward to having it with mine, and hope that yours is really fruitful as well. God bless.